So hello and welcome back guys to the channel, and this is Green Pips of X as usual. And on today's video I'm mainly going to be talking about structure. Structure is a very important concept because it's the thing that defines what's going on in the market, right? And most of the people tend to take it very slightly, right? Rather than how heavily structure can be in the whole point of trading. So let's go to like a random pair, something that's just out of my watch list, right? Maybe GBP something, uh, GBP CAD, right? Okay, so let's go to GBP CAD. So let's return the charts and boom, there we have it, right? So let's make this a little bit very small so that can just show you how. So let's go back in time and then make this wide now and show you guys how structure can be analyzed from any point regardless of what's going on. So let's start from this point here, right, where we had structure basically going bullish, right? This bullish play here. Now structure can be defined in a very good way. So structure can be defined in a very good way through its division, right? And we have two major types of structure. We have the major structure and the minor structure, as some people like to call them, real structure and fake structure, something like that. But I'm just gonna stick with what I know, which is the major structure and the minor structure. Now, the major structure is what we can depict out of the institutional order flow, right? Major structure only deals with the major highs and the major lows as the institutions see them, while minor structure is basically everything that's in between that high and that low. Now with examples, right? So basically following institutional order flow, and if you do not know what institutional order flow is, you can kindly go back and watch the order flow video and you'll be very good at that. So saying from this low right here to that high, that low and that high right there, that low right here to where? This high right here, that high, and yeah, so basically, and that low there, right? Boom. So basically, can we take this? No, we cannot. Yeah, so let me explain why did I take my structural points like this, right? Because on institutional order flow, we are following only those moves that break structure and make the retest. Now, within every move that I just put here, you'll find that there's what? A break of structure, right? So this is a break of structure high, this break of structure, and that retest, right? This break of structure here, this break of structure here, with this high, right, from that low that comes to break the structure, forming this high and that retest there. Now the main reason that I didn't take these right here, right, because this is a high, right, and that's a low, right, and this is a high and that is a low, right? Now the main reason that I didn't take this is because this is minor structure. It's candlestick order flow, right? Because I did say that we only take the moves that break structure. As long as this structure point here, okay, so let's remove that. As long as this structural point here is not broken, that is simply minor structure in there. As long as this structural high is not broken, all this nonsense that's going in here is minor structure in this specific time frame. Remember, this is GBP CAD on the 4 hour, right? So in this specific time frame, we do not term this as major structure. This is just minor structure, right? It's candlestick order flow and not institutional order flow. And if you do go back to the lower time frames, you'll find that within this move right here, right, there is major and minor structure. Now, if this is like way back in time, so if I do go back to the lower time frames, I might lose this. As you remember, I did just randomly pick this. So maybe in the recent price action, I will make an example in the lower time frames. But in following order flow, you will find that from this low, we came to have this high right here that broke this structure point right there. Now, so this was all bullish, right? Because as you can see, right, price was breaking structural points higher. Now, if I come to say, where did we start being bearish from the structural point of view is from this institutional point of view is that we started being bearish as soon as this low right here was broken, because that is an institutional low being broken, right? And as soon as this low right here is broken, that market shifts from bullish to bearish, and this is the thing that we call SMS, short market structure, meaning that the market is now shifting from long to short, from bullish to bearish. So this right here, the tendency of the market going like this, right? So market goes like that and then breaks a low, fails to make a new high, and then continues lower, right? This thing right here is what we call SMS. And excuse my drawings, but it is what it is, right? So boom, there you have it. So that is short market structure, and that is exactly what happened here. Now let's continue following this order flow and see how good you can be in analyzing structure and knowing where the market is going without you using any other indicators like the RSIs or the moving average or whatever, right? So let's just delete that and continue now following where structure is taking us, right? So let's make this a little bit narrower. Okay, so as soon as this low right here was broken, right, this low was broken, it made this so this was the low, the high that failed to break structure, as I did say before that. Okay, so damn, that just went a little bit off. So let's return it like that and use the brush thing. Boom. So as I said before, that if price is doing this, right, and then it fails to break higher and breaks lower and then continues lower, right, this right here, right, from that high, I mean this high here, this low, right, as you can see, this high, this low, and then this high that fails to break structure, and then it's low that comes to do what? To break structure. This low here, this low right here is this low here, right? Boom. So there, from the high, this high, I mean, okay, forget this one here, let's just delete that. So from this high to this low that breaks structure, so that high and that low that does what? That breaks their structural point here, right? So this is what we call short market structure. Now let's continue following our order flow. So from that low comes to make this high, that it's barely a high, which makes this certain retest here at this level, right? This okay, so a retest there from this hidden demand zone, right? And okay, so let's remove that. So from that low to that high, and then that low, that high, right? Structure is being broken. As you can see, there's a breaker structure there. So let's use the brush, and so there's a breaker structure there forming the high and then the low. Where's the low? Here, because there's what? A breaker structure here, right? Okay, so let's remove that because there's a breaker structure here. Okay, my mouse is sloppy. A breaker structure here, right, forming this low. And then what? Okay, so let's drag this a little bit closer, and then what? Let's now continue to follow this and see where price takes us, right? So we're now at this low that comes to make this high, which is a retest to that previous supply zone, right? And then that low that does what? Breaks the structure, and then that high, right, as a retest, and then this low that does what? That breaks structure, and then what? That high. So as you can see, guys, there's a lot of bearish opportunities that you could have obtained in here, right? So let's remove these. They're a little bit dirty there, right? So we do have this breaker structure, that breaker structure, and this breaker structure here, right? So we're just following where price is going through order flow, right, and understanding what structure is doing. Now after that, as you can see, there's a very good trade here because it's just a retracement to the demand zone. So there's your bullish entry, and you're looking to take price even lower, right? And okay, let's just remove those, they're out of point. So we're just following that high and now this low with this high right here, right? This low that breaks structure, this high is the retracement, right? That low there, that low right there. So where's the structure being broken? Here, right? So that's low, that low there, and this high as its retest, right? So why did we take this as the low? Look at where okay, let's use the brush. Look at where price broke the structure, right? it didn't break here because this was just a wick. Price came to break structure here, right, with this candle here, because as I did say that a break of structure has to be with a body of a candle breaking and closing below that structural point, and not just wicks, right? Okay, so let's continue. We now have a new break of structure here. So from that high to this low, that break structure there, right? So we're just following order flow and seeing how structure is being delivered to us in a clear sense of way that presents a lot of trading opportunities that you could have caught. And we're still continuing, right? And so from this low comes to form what? This high. That does not break structure, right? There's no structural point being broken, so that's just a retest. And lo and behold, did we break structure here? Okay, we have to be very accurate, so let's use straight line. There, we did not break structure, so this was just a retest, right? So let's say this as its low, right, creating these equal lows, right? And wherever there's equal lows, it means that there's what? There's liquidity below this area, right? There's liquidity below this area. And if you do not know what liquidity is, you could go back and check the liquidity video and catch up with what we're doing here. So with this liquidity area created, right? So this is liquidity engineering by smart money. So what does price do after that, right? Price is now faking to break structure higher, right? Creating all this fake liquidity within this lows, right? Smart money are just engineering a lot of liquidity in here. As you can see that the momentum of price in here is barely shaking, right? The momentum of price in this zone right here is barely shaking. Price is barely moving, and it's taking a lot of time because it's a fake move that's just driven there to trap down traders into thinking that it's a buy, while smart money are just actually buying to sell it, right? Lo and behold, after this liquidity engineering, as you can see now, so as long as this low is not broken and this high is not broken, everything happening in here is just what? Fake structure or minor structure, right? And we do not consider this because the price action in there, as you can see, is very tricky, because smart money are just looking to trap down traders in order to grab that liquidity and take their momentum as well as price even further, right? So let's clear these real quick. Okay, so price engineers this move here, and then look at what happens, guys. We now have a breaker structure here. Okay, so let's use this line here. Let's just put a straight line here, and we now have a breaker structure here, right? With this move here, as you can see, the body clearly closes below. So with this breaker structure, it clearly means that now price is now returning to its original trend. And following that trend, what do you have? You do have your supply zones, which become accurately tested, and lo and behold, that is your bearish entry right there to take price even lower. Now, I'm not talking about supply and demand, so this was just an extra concept. Okay, so price is now breaking lows and creating new higher, lower lows and higher lows, right? So from that area there, we now have a breaker structure here. That breaker structure forming this this institutional low. So from this institutional low, we now have a retest to where? A supply zone. You have your supply zone right there, price retested. So that's your bearish entry to take price lower. Now, as you can see, we're just using structure to follow where price is going, but supply and demand is giving us a lot of entry areas, right? So from this institutional low to that institutional high, which is the high low, lo and behold, your structural low has been broken. And after the break of that low, what do you have now, right? You have this lower low and your potential supply zones right here for you to be able to trade from, right? Boom. So I'm just showing you guys that the whole combination of this becomes a whole new crazy idea in trading, and can be actually very profitable if you are consistent and know what you're doing. So from this low right here, it makes this as its pullback, right? Lo and behold, price makes this this move down, but this move down doesn't break structure, right? This move down doesn't break structure. So as long as this low is not broken, and this high right here is not broken, right? Everything in here is what? Minor structure, right? Everything in here is just minor structure. We do not use this, we do not consider this in this particular time frame. But on the lower time frame, um, you'll find that whatever is happening in here is very interesting, and it's because price moves in a fractal way, right? So in the lower time frames, whatever is in here is also a part of major structure as well as minor structure in that particular time frame. Because if we do know that, let's say this is the actual move of price in the 4 hour. So if price moved like this on the 4 hour, it generally means that if you go to a lower time frame, for example, maybe the 5 minutes, you will find that within this move here, right, there is fractal nature of price moving like this, right, in such a way that there is structure within structure, right? Because a bullish move like this in the 4 hour, meaning that there is a lot of bullish and bearish moves in that particular time frame. So you will find something like this in the 5 minutes as you continue dropping to lower time frames. This will be more fractalized in a very deep sense of manner. Now, let me clear this and show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's just highlight one of these, and then highlight all of them, and then just remove them. Boom. So okay, let's return our thingy here and our thingy here, right? Okay, so we do have this, right? So let's now go to the, okay, let's put this just above the high. Let's now go to the 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes barely enough. Let's make this price auto and roll back to see where price actually was there. So boom, we now have this, right? So with, as I said before, that within that that impulsive bullish move in the 4 hour, like I said, within this move, a move like this in the 4 hour, okay, that just deleted. Within a move like this in the 4 hour, you will find that there is a lot of moves going like this, right? A lot of fractalized moves going like that, and that is exactly what's being shown to you guys here, right? Because this right here was the move from this high, from this low to this high here. Now it's just in the 4 hour, it's just one move. But if you come to the 15 minutes, there's actually a lot of moves in here, and out of this you can depict its own major structure and minor structure, and that is how the fractalized nature of the market works, right? Okay, so let's now zoom in a little bit and see what is presented to us, right? Okay, so from this low right here, we have this high. So we have this high and this low, right? And after that, what do we have? We have a breaker structure, meaning that, okay, so institutional order flow is bullish, right? Because we have broken structure and we're making the retest, right? So this structure never gets broken again, right? Because what? As you can see, there's liquidity there, right? As I said before in the liquidity video, the liquidity lies below the lows, right? And as you can see, within the structural lows, there's liquidity. So price makes a move that comes to take liquidity and then continues with the right trend, right? So so boom, right there. As long as this structural low is this structural high is not broken, it means that everything in here is minor structure. But if you do go to a lower time frame, maybe the 1 minute or the 30 seconds, this right here becomes this whole thing, right? Because it's the same thing. The same moves in the 15 minutes like this means that in the 1 minute is actually something like what it's actually something like what, like this, right? Like this. So it will go high and then it will go low, right? So in the 1 minute it looks like something like this. Let me just remove that because my drawing is really poor. Okay, so let's just remove this and continue with what we're doing, right? So this high is not broken. This low comes to be broken where? Here, right? So we do have a breaker structure right here. So everything in here is minor structure. It's unconsiderable in this particular time frame. Now, price breaks And where's the break going, right? The break is just going to the original demand zone to get that momentum to take price higher. And this is why you can not only use structure as structure on its own as your trading arsenal or your trading tool, right? You have to have that combination of a lot of things in order for you to be able to understand the market in an in-depth sense and be able to build your consistency and profitability over time. So let's continue. We don't want to make this very long. So we do have that low, right? And this low was made by what? By so we have that low, that high, that's high there. So this low was made by this high. So until this low is broken, or this high right here is broken, everything in between here is minor structure. It's unconsiderable. Lo and behold, we do have structure being broken, and the creation of this high right here. So after the creation of that high, we now have a low, right? We now have a low and a what? And a high, right? This high is made by what? By the break of this structural high there, right? So the break of that high forming this high, and that right there as its pullback or its high low. Lo and behold, we do have a break of this structural point here, which now creates this high as its high, right? So we're not bearish on this until this low right here is broken, right? Okay, so let's remove that and let's make this a little bit narrow. Let's go a little bit in front. Okay, so boom, we're not bearish on this until this low has been broken, and we're not bullish on this until this high has been broken. This high here has been broken. So as you can see, lo and behold, all this in between is intermediary structure, right? Because price makes this low, and that's as its lower high. Okay, so I did not see that. Okay, so let's return this a little bit. So there, boom. So after the creation of this high, it makes this as its low, right? Lo and behold, SMS happens, short in market structure, right? The simple idea that I gave you guys before: if price is going bullish and then it breaks structure, it fails to break that high, and then it continues bearish, is what we call short in market structure. And this right here is exactly what happens here, right? So this is your lower time frame structural confirmation if you do want to take that trade yeah, from the higher time frames, right? So in the 4 hour, you do know that this was just a pullback. So if you do want to trade the extension of that pullback, meaning this down move here, right? So you could have easily waited for price to come here, makes this low, and look where price is now going. Price comes here, fails to break structure. So this is SMS. This is now a lower time frame confirmation that, okay, price is going bearish. But you do not go bearish until this low has been broken. So the break of this low right here is the initiation of the overall bearish move that now shows you this market is officially bearish. Lo and behold, that low gets broken. You get these slight retest in here, which is your lower time frame entries, and price now goes lower and lower and lower. So this is basically it on this video. Without further ado, guys, don't forget to like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't like the video, and let me know why in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell button on for notifications, and until the next one, guys.